Hey guys, so as you may have heard, GameSpot gave Cyberpunk 2077 a 7 out of 10, which is just absolutely absurd. I would understand if there was something seriously wrong with the game, but the only main issues people are having with the game is there are bugs. But you know what? Bugs come with games, with big games of this size. Bugs come with these games. Do you remember Skyrim? Do you remember Fallout 4? Fallout 76? We're not even going to talk about Fallout 76 because that was trash, okay? But these huge games, even The Witcher 3 had bugs coming out when it was released. This is no different. It's going to have bugs. They already have a big day one patch out and it fixes a lot of bugs. This is like a full-size game update. Honestly, like, this is over 40 gigabytes of a patch to clean everything up. And the main issue we're having here today is the reviewer here in the center of the screen. She claims that she gave the game a 7 out of 10, but the problem is she did not fully immerse herself in the game. She did not fully play the game, explore the game, do a lot of side quests, just bring herself into the experience. And just listen to this.
So, different strokes, I guess. Yeah, I was like a little shirt, baggy pants, sort of V. And I got some cute stuff, but oh, I even got goggles that say "bitch" across the front, and they've matched my outfit. And I was like,
I want those.
They were perfect. I loved them. Yeah, there's just a lot of like I would drive by. There's these like, like in Red Dead Redemption 2, you would like walk by something and it would be like an emergent thing happening and you could interact with it. There's stuff kind of like that, but it was just like, help the cops catch these criminals. And I was like, what if I don't want to help the cops? And then I would just drive away. And like, I didn't do a single one of them because I just didn't see the point. So there's a lot like...
I didn't do a single one of them because I didn't see the point. So basically, she just admitted that she skipped an absolute huge amount of side content. And she sees it as, I just didn't want to do it. But yet here she is giving a huge game like this, a game you have to invest hundreds of hours into to fully get the full experience. And she's given the game a 7 out of 10. But I mean, you would think that some company like GameSpot would hire way better reviewers than this who actually love gaming, who actually love these type of RPGs, to just completely invest their time into, to give an actual proper review, something people can actually relate to and say, yeah, I agree with that. But this is just ridiculous, man. You have a single reviewer here giving a game a 7 out of 10 when all these other reviewers are saying, yeah, the game's fantastic. Yes, bugs are holding it back, but that can be patched, that can be fixed. But here she is saying that, when my experience with it, I just didn't want to do any side quests because I only care about the main story. She only really played the main story, basically. I mean, when you come here, she speaks about how she played it for 50 hours. Completing a variety of side quests and character arcs, as well as the one ending for the main story. She played as a female nomad V in specialized hacking. But I mean, for 50 hours, you still can't. How can you fully review a game with just 50 hours? This game is over 170 hours long. Like, and that's with doing everything. Like, you know what I mean? But I mean, it just blows my mind when you have somebody doing a review for a company as big as GameSpot, and you can't even, invest way more time into it and give an actual proper review. Just at least get someone who's actually gives a shit about the game and gives a shit about gaming and completely put their time into the experience and give you an honest review of it. And I mean, like, every side quest, the full story, etc. But this is ridiculous, actually reading this. There's so much to do that isn't meaningful. So a lot of it ends up feeling superfluous, if I pronounce that right. Superficial and often edgy aesthetic choices often have no real purpose, which make them grating rather than adding anything relevant to the world. The incorporation of different cultures and backgrounds is wildly inconsistent, from good to inaccurate to downright offensive. So basically, she's offended. She finds the game offending. The main story doesn't cohere with the rest of the game with an urgency that's at odds with everything else. Technical issues from visual bugs to full-on crashes and so pervasive that it's impossible to ignore. This is understandable. But basically, now here she is basically saying that, oh, I find the aesthetic of the game too edgy for me, so I don't like that. So the game's bad for edgy aesthetic choices. I don't even understand what that even means. Like, what does she mean? It's a cyberpunk world. Like, what is she getting at? There's neon lights, gangs. And obviously, she allowed her, personal feelings to get to her with this review, because she says that the different cultures within the game are downright offensive, which I don't think is very fair to review a game in that sense. That's not a very fair way to review it. But I will say, this is fine. That's okay. That can be fixed. But GameSpot, please, next time, at least hire someone to do a review who actually gives a shit about playing the whole game and putting their time into it, because she reviewed the game and gave her score without fully completing the game. All she did was the main story and some side quests. That was it. She ignored so much content, and she just throws a 7 out of 10. She's the same reviewer who gave Days Gone a 5 out of 10. I know a lot of people may have not liked that game, but right off the bat, like, some of her excuses were just ridiculous with that review. And same situation here. But I mean, like, come on, man. You got to get your shit together. This is causing an absolute shitstorm, because every other reviewer is saying the game's fantastic. And when you have a game like this that's been in development for years and years and years, and then you see some random ass reviewer coming in and giving it a 7 without completing all the content, people are going to be upset. That makes sense. Anyways, thanks for watching. This is really interesting.